Foods to avoid with diabetes. Your eating pattern is an important factor in your blood glucose levels. Cutting these foods out altogether is a great way to lower blood sugar and create a healthier lifestyle. Cookies. Cookies are high in simple sugar and bleached flour. Many cookies also have shortening like Crisco in the ingredients list, which is made up of the worst fats that you could eat, especially if you have diabetes. Cake. Cake is high in sugar, white flour, and oftentimes trans fats. These are not good for your glycemic load at all, which means that cake should unfortunately be avoided. Microwave popcorn. There aren't just kernels in those packages you put in the microwave. There are also vegetable oils that are not good for you or your diabetes. Movie popcorns contain a lot of these types of fats in them as well. French fries. Fries are soaked in some of the worst oils as they are cooked, and getting too much fat in your diet, especially the bad kinds of fat, is really bad for diabetes. Donuts. Donuts have to be deep fried in order to maintain their same level of deliciousness, and baked donuts are just not the same. Deep frying means that there are a ton of unhealthy oils involved. Margarine. The problem is that the types of fats in margarine, even though there might be less than in butter, are way worse for you. Margarine can also have a lot of hidden sugars and salt that you didn't know you were consuming either. White sugar. White sugar spikes your insulin levels, so you want to instead reach sparingly for sweeteners that won't weigh heavy on your glycemic load like honey, maple syrup, or coconut sugar. Red meat. Red meat is high in saturated fats, which can lead to cardiovascular disease and diabetes. The American College of Cardiology recommends a very low amount, if any, red meat in your diet. Pretzels. Pretzels have a healthy image, but they're bad for you. A quick look at the ingredients reveals white flour, fats, and salt. Some pretzels that you can buy at the store are fat-free, but others have been cooked in unhealthy oils. Smoothies. Smoothies sound nutritious but can be filled with sugar. You have to be very careful when you make smoothies, and especially if you buy them from the store. Pickles. Pickles are packed with salt and can take a significant portion of your sodium for the day. Eating too much sodium can lead to high blood pressure. Mayo. Mayo is usually made with bad fats instead of better alternatives, like olive oil. They also contain a lot of carbs and sodium, which can be bad for those with diabetes. Mayo is full of oils like canola oil as well as eggs, which are notoriously high in saturated fats. Whole milk. For someone with diabetes, a diet that's high in saturated fat can make insulin resistance worse. Whole milk has a lot of saturated fat. All animal fats are saturated fats, so keep that in mind. Energy drinks. Your average energy drink can have 27 grams to 40 grams of sugar per serving. They are also full of ingredients that are just not good for your body in general. Canned fruit. Canned fruit or fruit packed in syrup can be high in sugar. For example, fruit cups have 15 grams sugar per cup. The recommended amount of sugar we should eat in a day is about 25 grams. That's a large amount of your daily allowance of sugar. Frozen meals. Frozen meals are the epitome of convenience, but they're high in sodium and fat. This can make them an unhealthy choice for anyone, but especially for people with diabetes. White bread. White bread is high in starches and refined grains. Refined grains are digested by the body quickly and are processed like sugar. Despite having no sugar in the food, white bread can cause blood glucose spikes. Regular soft drinks. Regular soft drinks are horrible for those with diabetes. This comes from the high fructose corn syrup found in all traditional sodas in the United States. Even if they were made with cane sugar, it is still too much sugar for our bodies to handle properly. Iceberg lettuce. Iceberg lettuce isn't bad for you, it just doesn't offer much nutritional value. There are much better things you could be eating in your salad instead. Nachos. Everyone loves a good plate of nachos, but it can be bad for someone with diabetes. Nachos are usually made with red meat, refried beans, cheese, and tons of other things that can be dangerous to eat. They are also loaded with tons of salt. Ice cream. Ice cream is high in fats and sugars. Some brands can have as much as 7 grams of fat and 14 grams of sugar for half a cup. This is definitely not a good combination for anyone looking to eat healthy. Pizza. Pizza is just white dough with full fat cheese. Most pizzas are loaded with all the ingredients that are bad for diabetics, such as calorie-rich, high in sodium, processed foods like cheese and refined flour. Sugary cereals. Some favorite cereals that seem healthy are full of sugar. For example, Raisin Bran Crunch has 20 grams of sugar per serving. That's more than double the sugar content of Fruit Loops, which has 10 grams per serving. Pastries. Most pastries are loaded with sugar, whether they're homemade, cafe-prepared, or pre-packaged. In addition, these sweets use the worst types of fats to add moisture and richness. Butter. Fats like these can slow down digestion and make it harder for insulin to work. This can lead to a high blood glucose level hours after your meal. Lunch meat. Processed lunch meat may not seem that bad, but it's loaded with sodium. Some lunch meats have as much as 650 milligrams of sodium in one serving. They are also full of nitrates and nitrites that are also not good for you. Biscuits and gravy. Biscuits and gravy is a breakfast staple for some, but it can be very unhealthy. Biscuits are created from refined flour, which can cause a spike in glucose levels. The gravy also is made with refined flour and can add to the increase in glucose levels. Pasta. Unfortunately, this tasty food is also loaded with carbs, which can elevate your blood sugar levels. Most pastas are made with refined flours that will only spike your blood sugar levels. Processed cheese. The amount of processing that American cheese goes through should be enough to put anyone off eating it, but it's still a popular choice. They are barely real cheeses and are packed full of unhealthy salt, fat, and sugar. Mixed nuts. Mixed nuts are a popular snack that's super easy to grab when you're hungry. However, the nuts inside can be high in fats and extremely high in salt. This can raise your blood pressure and make the other symptoms of diabetes worse. Find more at alot.com.